Prism Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Trip Japan! Denver tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Meihan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prism Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Denver tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Meihan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan, we're on tour.
Japan, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Meihan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
Japan, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Meihan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Hey, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know what? It's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in
Japan, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know what? It's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Hey, Devon tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan and we're on tour.
Hey, Devon tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
Alrighty, and welcome Drift fans to the Ultimate Drifting Challenge. I believe we're on round 6 now, out here at Orange Show Speedway, San Bernardino, California. We are running 215 tire series today. We've got Jeff Coonrod in the lead there in that red FRS. We've got Austin Carey in the chase in that orange Mazda Miata. Jeff's got a screaming K series in that Scion, and I know that Austin's got a little turbo kit on that Miata. So both of these cars are peppy and ready for some action this weekend. Again, we've got 215 tire guys running today, and then tomorrow, stay tuned, we'll have 235 running the course tomorrow. To give these drivers more capability this weekend, they're running just the infield today. So a lot of these guys do not have full roll cages in their cars. Orange Show Speedway requires a full roll cage in order to actually drift the big banks. And so to kind of mediate that, these drivers are doing their kind of pace lap around the outer bank of the course and then solely drifting on the infield. And as you can see, they're going to enter the track there down the straightaway, come around that bank there, down this next straightaway, and then here, right where the cars are crossing, that's the finish line. But they're going to come across the second bank now. There's a white line there that dictates the start of the gentleman's speed zone. The second line dictates the start of the course. They're going to flick their cars down off the bank, transition here now into that first inner clip, and then back again into this first outer zone there, pushing out to that second box, that second outer zone, as they cross across the infield, transitioning into OZ3 there, that short little box, and then that longer big sweeper corner, that big box there is OZ4. They're then going to transition around this Pac-Man on the course there, that second inner clip, and push out towards the last and final outer zone. Then these drivers are going to switch positions on the bank, maintain their momentum, and clutch kick that car right back into the course. We've got that little Mazda Miata in the lead, and quite a untraditional drift car in the chase. We've got a Toyota Tacoma applying the pressure on that little Miata,
Looking
not
so
giving
good.
him much room, looking good. The gray and red car, and Brian in the Tacoma, I've actually driven with him in Hot Pit before. The guy is a very, very solid driver. So it makes me happy seeing him back out in the saddle, back out here and, driving UDC with everyone this weekend.
I like what you said about him, Hayden. Drift Slayer out there, that's Brian in the Tacoma. He did have advantage with that run just because of the Miata spinning. So it looks like as long as he completed the lap, he was going to take that win right there. So we got confirmation from the judges, and Brian took the win just because the Miata spun and he didn't give him a run.
We've got Christian Mariscal. Sorry, I'm going to butcher your last name. You'll have to correct me later. Christian Mariscal in that white Miata, Playboy period Yada on Instagram. And up next, we've got Dune Mallory in that red BMW E36, and we've got Russell Ortega in the cop car Crown Vic.
I don't know how Big Russ drives that cop car. Like it's probably the craziest thing I've seen.
Well, he's finally on coilovers now.
Oh, finally?
Finally. He did the coilovers this last week, I believe.
Nice flick from Dune. Filling all that zone.
Yeah,
Russ needs to catch up to give a fighting chance.
Now, Russ pretty much unloaded the car right at the tail end of practice, so I'm not sure truly how many practice laps he got, or if he's just coming straight into comp pretty blind here. Dune's doing a good job of a nice fluid lead line there, pushing out pretty far towards that last outer zone, but all in all has a very fluid lead line that run.
Super stylish.
Very stylish.
He's a contender.
He's missing the over fenders today.
Yeah.
But still out here driving, still looking good. Great chase, good mimicry there. Cop cars just throwing down, good wide line to that first outer zone, connecting well into the second. Red and blue lights flashing on that front bumper, now into the third and fourth OZ, kind of missing OZ3, but pushing out further to that fourth outer zone. Dune applying the pressure, nearly tapping him there. And yep, Russ is missing the line there, but that's okay. He'll get it figured out.
That's the disadvantage of showing up late to an event like this, but with the California traffic, I'm sure that played a part.
I just got a message from Mr. Monning. He's driving the Corvette tomorrow, and he said that him and his crew are gambling $1 per battle over watching it from the stands. That's pretty funny. So we've got some bets,
Cool.
going on.
If I had to bet on this next one, it's going to be a close call. We got Jeff and we got Eric coming up. This is going to be a really good proximity battle right here. Both great drivers. They've driven every California event. Jeff
has driven every round this season.
Round.
He has not missed one round. We went to Oregon. We went to Idaho. And Jeff drives out from, I believe he's from Colorado?
16-hour drive.
Oh,
that's what he was
my
saying.
Gosh.
Insane.
From there to here?
With a new trailer.
Ooh.
He said that thing was swerving.
I really like his, he's got like a bed camper.
Yep.
That would go on the bed of the truck, but he's got it secured to the front of the it's like a flatbed 2-car trailer. And he's got the camper secured to the front of it, and he pulls the car. I think that's such a rad setup. Now, Eric with a very wide transition there, missing that first clip, but making up for it in this first outer zone now. Coming through, tires are smoking. That LS, that 6-liter in that E30 is just chooching these 215s.
Eric doing a good job filling that outer zone. However, in the beginning, at that first inner clip, he was kind of offline a little bit, which threw Jeff off and made him lose that proximity. A little love tap towards the end right there, getting that
bumper hanging on for dear life.
We got Jeff out in front right here. Nice initiation. Could have been a little closer to that first inner clip. Getting into that first outer zone a little late, but still looking really good in fluid with angle. Good stylish car. Eric throwing a lot of angle right there coming out of outer zone 1.
Jeff almost kind of nearly straightening on transition there through the infield with an excessive little handbrake pull there, but it kind of did set him up for that 4th OZ fairly well. He was able to pull it together and fill that zone through that inner clip and across the finish line there.
The lower horsepower cars are going to have a disadvantage on this track unless they keep their momentum to get to that second outer zone.
And so, Will, after you drove your car in practice, how do you feel about the extension from OZ2 transitioning across the entire infield into OZ3?
I love it. As long as you keep your momentum and come out late on the first outer zone.
Okay, so pushing out as far as you can.
Yep, and then you're going to transition more than halfway. And if you e-brake tap, it'll get you settled to go to that outer zone. And you can fill it, and it sets you up for the rest of the course. As long as you keep your momentum, that's the key right there.
That makes a lot of sense. That's kind of how I remember driving it when I previously have driven this track, and a very similar layout to where you're hitting this inner clip there where the checkers are, and then transitioning into OZ1 and 2, and you kind of left foot brake and push out through that second OZ with a snappy transition, checking up with the e-brake into the next outer zone.
Must be easy for you with 400 plus horsepower.
No, my car doesn't even make 400.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, so it's still tricky. It's still tricky.
Chester out in front, Austin in the chase position.
Now, Chester was out here last weekend. He's got a bit of an advantage this weekend because last weekend we did a UDC practice day here and ran this same layout, and I know that Chester was here, so he's well acquainted with this format. I mean, the second practice lap that he did today, he was looking locked in already, and so he's a strong contender for the 215 podium this weekend yet again.
Super good stylish run from Chester. The only thing that I would say is throw a little bit more angle in that first inner clip, and that'd be a flawless run right there. Filled all the zones, super deep, super good lead run for the chase driver to chase. Austin, nice flick right there to that inner clip, going to that outer zone. Perfect line for Chester to chase. Let's see if Chester could stay on him the whole run. Really nice chase from Chester, staying on Austin the whole run, trying to mimic that angle. Staying on throttle to finish it out. Chester, good job on that chase. That's going to be a close call from the judges.
Yeah, and Chester definitely recuperated a little bit of momentum across that second touch and go, clutch kicking it to push himself out to that final zone and across the finish line.
So far, so good, though.
And we've got track staff resetting a couple cones.
And then next battle, we will have Dune and Brian, a.k.a. Drift Slayer.
And real quick, while we have a second of downtime, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to our partners and sponsors this season. We've got Cage Kits on board, SoFine USA, Race Club Fabrication, Low Eye Media, Cat Daddy Tuning, Society, Drift Japan, Prisma Labs, NRG, Vitor Tires, Zestino Tires, Zeknova Tires, as well as Black Widow Exhaust, Ignition Speed, TDMI Imports, Street Rivals, J&A Racing Oil, Eagle Motorworks. Thank you to everyone involved.
You forgot one.
We've got...
Slide Through News.
Oh, yeah, we got Slide Through News. Thank you, Will. Mr. Will Poussat sitting here chatting with me. Dune Mallory in the lead. Clutch kicking across that line there. Now into this first inner clip, transitioning to that first outer zone.
Super good flick from Brian.
Yeah, very fluid run from both drivers thus far. Dune doing a great job of filling those outer zones, transitioning now through that infield. Barely hitting that third OZ, but setting himself up very well into that fourth outer zone there.
Brian doing a good job in that chase position, following what the lead driver is doing. And
that's what we want to see from the chase guys. We don't necessarily care how the chase drivers are online, as long as they are mimicking what the lead driver is doing. So if the lead driver is a bit offline, as long as that chase driver is following him to the best of his ability and just with good mimicry, that's what we want to see from these guys.
Getting into that outer zone a little late by Brian, but Dune doing a great job in the chase position. Good proximity, a lot of angle coming out, losing that proximity in chase, but he will probably gain it right here.
Loading up the car before that transition, coming through that second touch and go there. Both cars pushing out wide. A little bit of a bobble from Brian coming into that last OZ, but all in all, solid run from both drivers.
Thank you to everyone that came out to watch the competition series today. We appreciate all you guys coming out and hanging out with us. And thank you, Hayden, for letting me come up and chat with you in the booth.
Dude, anytime. It's great that you're out here driving this weekend, driving 235, and it gives you the time to sit here with me during 215 and spectate and watch the drivers. And also, I mean, it kind of gives you a bird's eye view and almost a little bit of a technical advantage because you're sitting here watching and critiquing everyone from above and, you know, storing that knowledge for when you're in the car, you can kind of make some minor corrections.
It does help. I just have to not suck tomorrow, and I should be okay. We got Russ. He will be in the lead position right here.
Yes, Russ in the cop car, and we've got Christian in the Miata on Instagram at Big Russ Racing in the Crown Vic, and Playboy period Yada in that white Mazda Miata in the chase.
Good initiation from Russ. It looks like he's starting to see where he needs to place that car. The Miata needs to play a little catch-up right here, though.
Yeah, that thing seems a bit underpowered for a longer layout like this, but he is making do, pushing that thing to its limits. I wonder if it's a 1.6 or 1.8. That thing is just screaming for mercy. And they both spin. Oh, man.
The Miata got lucky.
He did, because the Miata was spinning before Russ.
Correct.
On transition there. I could see that. Yep. And then Russ just, oh, shoot, Russ is spinning too. All right. Miata got very lucky with that one.
So as long as he could complete the lap, he might have advantage right here from the judges.
Mm-hmm.
Chill initiation right there from the Miata, filling that whole first outer zone. Super deep, losing angle though, a little bobble.
Seems like that thing is very gripped up.
Straightening almost all the way to that outer zone.
Russ just getting angry with the cones and showing him who's boss there.
He put it right on the line though, so it got
he
the cone
did.
out of the
Oh,
way.
and the Mazda spins again in the same spot. So that is going to be a tie for that run, since both cars during their lead run botched it and spun out and messed up their run.
We're still doing tie downs, right? Opposed to tie-ups?
Yes,
Okay.
correct. So basically, each of these drivers are allotted 5 battles per qualifying session. If they win their battle, they can get up to 5 points. However, if they tie, they can either have a tie up or a tie down based off of if it was a good tie or bad tie. So I believe a tie down is 2 points per driver, and a tie up is 3 points per driver, or tie up is 5 points. Okay, so if it's an amazing, we don't do one more times here. So if it's a killer battle from both drivers and they tie, they will both get 5 points. However, if it's a crappy run from both drivers, they're gonna tie down and only get 2 points.
I hope if I go up against like Taylor, or is it Tyler, tomorrow in the Corvette,
Yes.
we at least tie up and I don't lose.
Taylor Monning.
Killer driver. I've seen him drive multiple times. He's going to be a tough one to go against tomorrow.
Yep, I was talking with him briefly in the pits earlier when he first got here, and he's in process of really getting his program dialed in. He said that he was doing some testing with the car. The car is dialed. It's feeling how he wants it to. He's very, very excited to be here and very much so looking forward to driving with everybody tomorrow.
Next up, it looks like we have Chester in the lead and Jeff in the chase.
Big shout out to, is that Mr. Johnny right there? Thanks for sending these cars out safely on track. Russ is walking up, bugging him about some questions maybe.
Or apologizing for hitting all the cones.
Hey, yeah. Johnny, you're doing a great job. Let's get a wave. Can we get a wave, Johnny? I don't think you can even hear me. All right, drivers are getting sent out. Chester in that silver 350Z, Jeff in that red FRS.
Shout out to the camera crew out here getting these amazing shots for this live stream. It's looking super good. Good quality, clear, and so far so good.
I should probably open up the stream and we can start yapping with the chat. Let's see how many people we've got in here. What's going on, everybody?
Chester initiating. A little closer to that inner clip, looking real good, filling that first outer zone. Let's see if he could stay on throttle and flick it into the outer zone 2. Still keeping angle right there. Chester is one of the more consistent drivers out here in this series. Jeff doing a decent job in chase right there, but did Chester check
hiccups from both drivers? Yeah, Chester definitely checked up there, it kind of inhibiting that chase line, it seems. And what's up, chat? Sorry for the little downtime black screen we had a few minutes ago, but now we are back up and running. What's up, Alex? What's up, Brianna? What's up? Who else we got? Chase. We've got. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far.
Jeff doing a great job in that lead position, setting Chester up for success in that chase. If Jeff completes this lap, I would go more in favor with Jeff with the fluidity of that run. But it's all up to the judges. Style-wise, I would probably go with Jeff on that one.
It's kind of sporadic. Yeah.
How many viewers do we have right now, Hayden?
We have a whopping 19 currently.
Not bad for a live stream.
Not bad, yeah, not bad for right now. Yeah, I'm just starting the stream, getting the kinks ironed out. And now everybody, tomorrow, we have 235 running tomorrow, so turn those notifications on. Make sure you tune into the live stream. And again, thank you to Orange Show Speedway for hosting us today. We've got Zestino partnered up and supporting the Speedway. We've got Toyota Redlands, Toyota Redlands, TRM. We've got Bergeson's on board, heating, AC, and electrical, and lots of local support for the racetrack, trying to keep it alive. Thank you again for hosting us this weekend, allowing drifting to come back to Orange Show Speedway. Tomorrow, we are collaborating with some of the circle track guys as well. So we'll be running circle track and drifting throughout the day tomorrow. Make sure you tune into the live stream and watch that. It's going to be a very entertaining day of motorsports out here at Orange Show Speedway in San Bernardino. And you know what? If you're local, if you're a couple hours away, if you don't have anything going on tomorrow, make sure you come come out and come spectate, sit in the stands, eat some good food. We'll have some food vendors, and you get to come watch the action live. So on to this next battle, we've got Austin Carey in the lead in that Mazda Miata. We've got Eric Heckney in the chase in that white BMW E30 powered by that LS motor. We've got a turbocharged 4-cylinder and an NA 8-cylinder out here ripping, shredding these tires, transitioning into that third outer zone now, coming into the fourth OZ. Austin doing a great job of filling that fourth outer zone now, transitioning into this final outer clip, and they're going to push out wide across the finish line through that fifth outer zone next to the wall.
Eric having a couple hiccups right there, not hitting the line like Austin was, so we'll see how he does in that lead position, and see if Austin could get that proximity down, and he may take that win.
Yep, so they've now switched positions. Eric is in the lead now with a nice wide line through that first outer zone, smoking those tires. Good push out into that second OZ now, coming across the infield, transitioning into OZ3. Big American flag waving in the wind. Unfortunately, misses the third outer zone, but is able to pull it together, filling OZ4. And he spins with hopefully little to no contact there. Didn't seem like that they bumped, thankfully, but that is going to cost Eric that run.
Austin did a great job.
What's up, chat? We've got 26 of y'all watching the stream right now. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for supporting the cause. We've got Ultimate Drifting Challenge, 215 drivers out here on Friday, the June 6th today. Drop a chat, drop a message down below on where you're tuning in from. Who are you watching to support? You're looking forward to seeing who makes it to podium tomorrow. So today, we're doing a little bit different than the previous rounds. Today, we've got both of the qualifying sessions and practice sessions going down for 215 tonight. Tomorrow will be the finals for 215, as well as qualifying and finals for 235, as well as some circle track stuff tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be a jam-packed, action-filled day. Make sure you guys turn those notifications on and subscribe to the channel, follow the socials, keep in the loop, and keep watching the madness. We've got Jeff in the lead in that red Scion FRS, and we've got Mr. Christian in that white Mazda Miata. Both of these guys are looking pretty decent out here today. Jeff doing a good fluid lead line there. Miata's kind of playing catch up. It seems like he's definitely underpowered for this layout today, but he's pulling it together run after run. He's looking a bit better and better, and we'll see how he does by the end of the night tonight.
Super good run from Jeff. Good, stylish, chaseable lead.
Oh, thanks, Alex.
Jeff
What's
is
up,
gonna
Gabe? You're
apply the
tuning in from
pressure.
Riverside. You should come out and spectate tomorrow. We'll have tickets sold at the door.
Jeff doing exactly what he needs to do in that chase position and following that lead driver. Even if they go offline, that's exactly what the judges want to see, is the chase driver doing exactly what the lead's doing. And finishing out strong, Jeff. I think he's going to take the lead on that one and win that battle.
And Jeff is going to take the win for that battle. Again, if you're just tuning in and if you're unfamiliar with the UDC format, you're watching this and you're like, oh, wait, this is chaotic. This is going by so fast. This isn't like a normal drifting competition. So we've got 2 qualifying sessions. Drivers go out for each session, right? Drivers are allocated 5 battles per session with up to 5 points per battle. If you go out and you win all 5 battles in both sessions, you accumulate 50 points. That's going to, secure your spot into finals, right? As long as you make it into finals, points will then reset, and then it's the same format in finals where you're hot lapping, you get 5 battles. As long as if you're out there and you win more battles than somebody else, than the next guy, you accumulate more points, and that's how you get on the podium.
This is going to be a great battle right here. We have Brian, a.k.a. Drift Slayer, versus Chester. Chester drifts on Instagram. This is going to be a good, stylish run from these two. They both drive frequently and quite often.
And to answer a scheduling question, we're pushed back a little bit currently. So tonight ends it was supposed to end at 9 o'clock for the comp runs, and then we're supposed to do open practice the last 2 hours of the night. However, I believe we're kind of like 30 minutes or so pushed back now. So comp should end around 9:30, maybe 10 at the latest, depending on how things go. And then we're going to do like an hour and a half of open practice tonight. Tomorrow for Saturday, we've got practice from 9 to 9:30. We've got Group A qualifying from 9:30 to 10:15. We've got qualifying from 10:15 to 11. We've got basically qualifying is from 9:30 to 12:30 tomorrow. Then circle track is from 1 to 3:30 tomorrow for practice. And then circle track qualifying is 4 to 5 tomorrow. We've got 2:15 finals tomorrow from 5 o'clock to 6:15. And then we've got 2:35 finals from 6:15 to 7:30 tomorrow, with the circle track main at 7:30 onward tomorrow night.
Brian spinning out right there, and that's going to cost him that battle. He did have the advantage with Chester not filling the second outer zone properly, and he gave that win to Chester. That was going to be a close call.
What's up, JR? Shout out, JR. Thanks for tuning into the stream. I know you've been into supporting all of the streams, so I appreciate you coming back.
What's up, Scoundrels?
Yeah, shout out Team Scoundrels. All
The
the
boys.
homies. All the boys.
We were just chilling with them in Apple Valley. Great times.
And Dune Mallory in the lead in that red BMW E36. Austin Carey back out here again in that Mazda Miata.
With a fresh motor. Austin just getting his motor done just recently, and
This is the first event with this motor, right?
yeah, he had a little bit of a test day, I believe, and now first competition day in that new motor. And Dune, same chassis as always.
Yep. Except he doesn't have the over fenders on this time.
Still looks good though.
It does. It doesn't look too bad, no. I love the red and bronze combo.
Looks great. Doing a good job getting into that last outer zone, filling it super deep. Austin playing catch up.
But Austin doing a great job of mimicking that nice wide line that Dune put down there. Great run from both drivers.
If he could gap Dune right here, Austin may have the advantage, but we will see.
Better flicking down off the bank, transitioning into his first touch and go there. Great proximity to that cone. Now into that first outer zone. Austin throwing his whole car into that zone. Looking good, nice and fluid. Dune applying the pressure, door to door. Love to see it.
Really good line from Dune right on his door the whole time, keeping that proximity. Almost a tire tap right there coming out of that outer zone. Inner clip looked really good as well.
I'd almost say that was the best chase run of the day so far.
That might, besides getting gapped, that could go in a tie-up maybe. But what did you say, Hayden? More with Dune on that one, with how stylish and how good that chase was?
Honestly, Dune killed that chase. I'd say, I personally would say that Dune would get that based off of the chase. However,
I didn't
I'm
yell.
not sure what the judges have to say. Where'd they go?
Good thing we don't have
Not
to
yet.
judge, right?
I know,
That's the
seriously.
problem.
I judged a handful of
Okay, how's
events
this now?
before, and it's difficult, especially after the fact when somebody comes up to you and they're
I
like, "Hey
can't even
man,
hear me.
like, why was the call called this way? Like, what happened?" I'm like, dude, you gotta come up to me with a video so I can do that.
Dude, that was like 10 battles
and
ago.
refresh. Yeah, that was 10 battles ago. It all fades together. I don't know what happened. You gotta show me a video.
We got Jeff lead right here in that FRS K-Series powered. Big Russ in the chase, piloting that cop car. Jeff with a little bit of a hesitation on that initiation, but feeling that whole outer zone, powering through, transitioning a little.
Where's Russ? Where's Russ? Where'd he go? Nearly an inactive chase there. The school bus between both the cars. Russ is still shaking the cobwebs off the trailer.
Oh, for sure. Russ with a nice initiation right there to that inner clip, getting into that outer zone, going 2 tires out of that outer zone.
Jeff is definitely, playing it a bit safe there, leaving a little bit of a gap between them, but now sucking back in through the infield, more confident in that lead run there. Starting to apply the pressure into that last zone. A bit of left foot braking. You see those front wheels locking up on that FRS. Looking good. Great technique from both drivers. Russ hanging out super wide, a bit offline coming through that last sub, but still making it work.
With that being said, I'm going to say Jeff took the win on that
Honestly,
one.
I would agree with that call. I would definitely agree with that call. I think that the judges didn't want to hear us, and that's how they went across the room over there. They left us.
Maybe.
They left us.
That, or they're getting the score sheet settled with everyone, so we have
True.
a clear.
Actually, let's look at the points here. So,
Oh my God.
we've got Chester and Jeff tied up for first place with 17 points. Austin Carey in third place with 14 points. Brian Nimmo tied with Dune for fourth place with 12 points. Eric Kegney in sixth with 6 points, tied with Christian. Christian's got 6 points as well, so those guys are tied for sixth. We've got Russell with 4 points in eighth place, and Isaac is on the scoreboard, but I have not seen Isaac run yet today, I don't believe.
We have Chester in the chase right now.
And yep, Christian in the lead in that Mazda Miata, getting more aggressive with that initiation, carrying some more momentum as he should into that first outer zone. There we go. That's what we want to see, getting that wheel speed up in that Miata, maintaining that momentum, pushing out as hard as he can, very shallow through that third OZ, but hitting his marks in the fourth outer zone. Now, that'll kind of ding him a couple points for missing that zone, but all in all, he's looking a lot better in comparison to his previous runs.
The Miata did shut it down before that last zone, so he will.
He did. But, I mean, his fluidity through the first touch and go into the first two OZs was good. Good transition through the infield, definitely shallow, missing OZ3, but, he's getting the hang of it. He's looking better and better each run. Chester doing a great job in the lead there, filling those OZs, transitioning perfectly, smacking 3 cones into that third OZ, damaging his bumper, but placing the car where he should in those boxes.
This kid's a force to be reckoned with.
He is. These sim kids, man.
Give him a little bit more horsepower, probably see him at these bigger series and winning maybe.
I want to see Chester drive like a 350, 400 horsepower car.
You volunteering? Where's your car at?
Honestly, I'd let him drive my car.
I know you would.
Yeah. Rocco was going to drive my car last at Willow.
Yeah.
And he was in, we got my car prepped. He was sitting in the driver's seat. He was about to go out, and then the points got tallied up, and he didn't make it into finals.
Yeah, we thought he did at first.
We thought that he did at first. We were like, oh, okay. And I ran over to the pits. I went and talked to him. He was going to drive my car. And then, unfortunately, the last second, we found out that he didn't end up making it in the finals. So that
Weren't
was
you guys like chopping wheel studs and stuff too to get it ready?
We had to fit wheels and spacers, and my studs were sticking out a little too far. So, yeah. But yeah, we were making it work. And, by any means necessary. It was still safe. Don't get me wrong. It was still safe. There was still enough thread engagement. We were good, but we had to make some clearance. And Eric Kegney in the lead in that white BMW E30. Brian Nimmo in the chase in that Toyota Tacoma. Does this truck have a 1J?
I haven't seen the hood popped, honestly.
I want to say it sounds like a JZ.
I know he's got drum brakes on the rear, though.
It definitely has that 1J purr.
Those 17s on his truck look way too
tiny.
small.
It looks so tiny. But he almost has to run him for the front to clear the wheel well. The rear could use like an 18 if he were to stagger like a 17, 18.
Oh, yeah. Eric doing a great job in that outer zone. Nice transition to that second outer zone. Getting in the pocket, throttle down, drift slayer, losing proximity.
Somebody said, speaking of horsepower, what's the deal with UC bringing in pro cars into this event? Grassroots question mark. So, yeah, there's a little bit of controversy with Margaritas showing up with his pro car tomorrow for 235. But honestly, what that does is that it gives these guys a bit of an edge factor. It's a kind of an X factor for the event. And you know, Margaritas isn't driving the whole season. He's just coming out to drive a day tomorrow. And you know, I personally before have driven events where pro drivers were brought into it, and it was a bit upsetting. However, after driving against them and with them in practice and even in comp, like getting knocked out of comp by a pro driver, don't think of it as a defeating, you know, upsetting kind of a scenario. Think about it as a learning tool to push yourself, because you're at a point to where you're driving with some top dogs and some good guys, and so that should, you know, kind of make you feel good about yourself, that you're out on the same playing field as these other drivers and getting to push your limits and, you know, honestly learn more and more and more each and every run, because the only way that you're going to learn is by driving with better drivers.
Correct. I got to drive at Willow for the first time on a bank course, even though it's not a crazy bank. Had a great time chasing him, trying to dive through the smoke and catch back up, and it taught me a few things. So it was very cool, but it was a challenge.
Yeah, but you know, at the end of the day, if you're just driving up against stock 350Zs and cars of that sort all the time, you're not going to learn nearly as much as you would in comparison to driving with more built cars. Okay, so we got a couple more runs, and then we're going to do about a 30-minute break, and then we're going to get back into the second qualifying session of the night.
So in that 30 minutes, Hayden, do you think you could run to my car and get a quick lap in, or
I
is it
would love to. Let's
just
do
take
it.
it easy because I have to drive to.
Do you have a second helmet? Will
have
you
my
ride passenger?
helmet. I don't.
No? Okay.
I'll let go.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I generally don't like to drive other people's cars without them in the car.
No, you're
But
good.
is it just like a Keon sort of?
Yep.
All right. He'll have to give me a little rundown, and then, yeah, that's going to be weird, you watching your own car out on track.
It's very rare.
Yeah?
I
feel
don't
honored.
I don't let a lot of people drive that car.
I feel very honored.
Only my my builder. So
Oh, okay.
Gabe that
Okay.
built the motor. He
Okay.
gets to test it, and
That makes sense.
that's pretty much it.
Oh, you don't have to let me drive it. I'm scared now.
It's up to you, man.
If anything happens, I'll take care of you.
I think we're fine. Russ out there flicking it into that first inner clip. Where's the other driver at?
Yeah, what happened?
Does he get a bye run?
I don't know. What happened? I just racked my elbow on this chair, dude.
Austin did leave the course, so maybe something's up with his car. Russ looking like he's finding that line now, looking a lot more fluid, and we have a second run group with him, so we may see some better driving. He's warmed up now, got the cobwebs off, and almost finding that line.
And you know what the deal is, right? That you let me drive your car, that means you get to drive the vet.
If you ever bring it out.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know. I almost brought it, so I was gonna bring it this weekend, but I'm going to Bash of the Future next weekend.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so I did not want to touch the car and jeopardize anything happening to it before next weekend.
I feel it.
But honestly, now, like, knowing that Big Bank isn't being ran, I should have and could have brought it, because that was my only thing, is like, if I mess up on the bank and I throw that thing into the wall this weekend, then like I would have hated myself. But next round, let's see, what's the next UDC round? Let's look at the calendar real quick. I want to say, so we are in
I know it's
June
not
right now.
California.
The next one we've got a decent break before the next round. There is not an event in July. And the next round is actually going to be Apple Valley, August 1st and 2nd. So
There's not one before that? I thought there was.
Not that I'm seeing in my calendar. No.
Okay.
So how about August 1st and 2nd, Apple Valley? I'll bring my car out and you can drive it then.
I'll be there.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. That'll be fun.
Hopefully
have you
I'll-
ever driven a Corvette?
No.
Ooh. That's even more exciting.
Yep. The only real car I've gotten to drive was Steezy's S13. Had it, Jay-Z powered.
How did that compare to your car?
It has WiseFab.
Yes.
So, like, I kept turning the steering wheel, and
it just
wouldn't-
kept going?
It wouldn't stop. So, I mean, like,
So my car's
just
got
keeps
WiseFab
going.
too.
Sick.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll take it easy. I'm not gonna throw it and
Oh, you totally
crazy.
can. I want to see you do some big entries. Oh.
We got track staff working hard, fixing those cones for us. We appreciate you guys out there. I saw some crowd favorites out there as well. We have Schaefer out here hanging out with the UDC fam.
Big shout out to Jacob out there on track, moving these cones around.
Looking stylish, hopping over that wall.
Yeah.
Sun hat flapping in the wind. Thank you to the spectators that came out to hang out with us on this beautiful day. A lot of people are saying it's hot, but out in Las Vegas, it's over 100 degrees right
Ooh,
now.
No, thank you.
So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, tomorrow it's going to be like 86 peak, I think.
Oh, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, same as today.
Looks like we got our next battle.
Yep, we've got Christian in that white Mazda Miata, Dune in the red BMW E36 coming up for your guys' next battle, and we've only got a couple more battles of this session, it's looking like. So then we're gonna hit a 30-minute break. And again, big shout out to Orange Show Speedway. Thank you so much, everybody here. Your guys' staff. Shout out to Rob for hosting us this weekend. Thank you very, very much.
Nice initiation from that little Miata that could. Dune with a great transition right there as well. Getting in that pocket, finding the zone, closing that proximity, mimicking that angle, going into that second outer zone. The Miata is just way off.
Very shallow there.
Getting back into the zone. Dune doing exactly what he needs to do in the chase. The Miata spinning right there. And
I don't think there was contact.
I don't think so as
It
well.
looked like that was very, very close. And man, that Miata is having a hard time with that last inner clip there. That's like the third or fourth time I've seen him spin out. But hey, he'll get the hang of it.
Oh man, I did the same thing in the first inning. I'm just getting used to my here and the steering wheel lock and all that good stuff. We got Dune out in front and great transition to that inner clip, going outer zone, staying super deep on that outer zone. Great angle. Let's see if he could keep that momentum going and get all the way out to that outer zone.
And as long as Dune holds it together, doesn't spin out, doesn't do anything crazy, he is going to take the win for this battle, since that Miata ended up spinning on his lead run.
Dune saw that advantage right there, and he took it easy.
And Dune is one heck of a driver. I mean, at the previous Willow round, I brought my car out for practice. Him and I got some laps in together, and it was so fun driving with him. Very consistent shredder.
That have Drift Slayer and Eric Kegney. We take this 30-minute break. If you guys want to go grab some food, we do have a food truck here today. Go grab some tacos. I believe it was 3 tacos for about $10.
That's not bad.
So go get some good Mexican food, hang out in the stands, watch this beautiful sunset, and we'll get back into drifting.
All right, Brian in the lead in that Toyota Tacoma, Eric in the chase in that BMW E30. Some Jay-Z on LS action throwing down at that big American flag waving in the wind.
It looks like he's just riding rims.
With a nice flick off the bank there, transitioning out of this first inner clip. Brian with a great proximity to that cone, transitioning very well into that first outer zone. Eric's doing a good job of mimicking, a little shallow into that OZ. But all in all, Brian with a very solid lead run there in that big truck he's got.
Dragging e-brake to get all the way to that outer zone, back on throttle, powering down. Eric doing a great job in that chase, throwing a lot of angle. Let's see if he could gain that proximity on that last inner clip to outer zone.
And he's looking solid.
Looking
good
better.
run.
Everyone's driving more consistently now, and the second group of battles are going to be a great show tonight.
I agree.
Eric doing a great job getting into that outer zone, staying super deep. Ryan doing a great job in that chase, leaving a little room. Eric missing that outer zone just a little bit. Great job on that inner clip by Eric, and finishing super strong on that Orange Show Speedway wall over there. That's going to be a close battle.
It is. I'm curious what the judges have to say.
There were mistakes from both drivers, but all in all, a great run.
And big shout out to the following companies involved with Ultimate Drifting Challenge this season. We've got Cage Kits, SoFine USA, Race Club Fabrication, Low Eye Media, Cat Daddy Tuning, Society, Drift Japan, Prisma Labs, NRG, Vitor Tires, Sestino Tires, and Zeknova Tires, Black Widow Exhaust, as well as Ignition Speed, TDMI Imports, Street Rivals, J&A Racing Oil, Eagle Motorworks, Idaho Drift. We had some support from Conte Wheels at previous events, RSR Services, and Slide Through News.
Thanks for that shout out, man. Appreciate you guys. Check out the channel if you want to see drifting updates, upcoming events, new drivers, media people to follow.
Driver shout outs.
That's what I do.
I love what you're doing.
Russ with a great flick right there.
Good transition, great proximity onto that inner clip. Dune doing a great job mimicking in the chase.
Dune doing a great job following that lead driver out of the zone, getting back into the zone, going to that second outer zone. Russ missing that first part of it, but getting back in it.
Pushing out nice and wide there.
Good amount of tire smoke from both drivers, though. That means they're staying on throttle. Russ doing a... Sorry, Russ, you're doing a horrible job right there on that last outer zone. We need to clean that up a bit, man. I'll tell you down in the pits that you need to stay closer.
It seems like that thing is very floaty with side bite.
I couldn't drive it, so I'm just talking crap at this point. But I bet you Russ is just out here taking this as seat time and having a great time. You get a minimum of, what, 20 laps at least?
Minimum of 20 battles just in comp, not including practice.
Yeah, so right there, 20 plus practice
and plus finals, another 10 for finals. So,
and the practice tonight's going to be a good amount, and that was the last battle of this run group.
Yep. And so we're gonna go for a quick 30-minute break. Are we gonna leave the stream up and run commercials so you guys can just, keep the stream up, enjoy the commercials, enjoy some of the scenic videos we've got posted for y'all. Make sure you tune in to Ultimate Drifting Challenge pages on Facebook, on Instagram. Check out www.udc.news. Make sure you go on to the Fote, right? And you can, donate to support the cause. You can buy tickets to come out and spectate this weekend. Tomorrow we've got 235 as well as some circle track racing going down. So yeah, and again, we're out here at Orange Show Speedway, San Bernardino, California, in the heart of San Bernardino.
Before we take off, Bonkers, stay on that drone. We're going to run to my car. We're going to get Hayden in the 240 right now.
We're not going to do
yes,
that.
We're
right
going to live
second.
stream it.
Oh,
yes, we are.
No,
We're getting you.
Cold?
Yes, it don't matter. Let's get you in an SR20 powered car.
Is it just key on, start the car, and go?
Key on. I'll go down there with you and make sure you're good.
All right, let's do it.
Stay on, guys. Let's see this in just a moment. Hayden driving a 240.
Prisma Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Hey, Denver tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prisma Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Hey, Denver tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Japan, Denver tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Meihan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Japan, Denver tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Meihan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
Prisoner Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan, we're on tour.
Man, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prisoner Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan, we're on tour.
Drift Japan, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
The tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
The tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei's coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only Ben down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Hey, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prison Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in
Hey, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know it, it's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
Alrighty, welcome back everybody. We are coming into the second qualifying session of the night out here. Ultimate Drifting Challenge 215 series tonight at Orange Show Speedway. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We've got the 235 drivers coming in hot for y'all. And so far, Will, I mean, we did our first qualifying session. These drivers are
Super sick.
they're getting better, right? Hopefully, you know, the cobwebs are more shaken off coming into the second session. However, there's been a ton of progress through the afternoon now. First qualifying session went well. We had a couple very close calls with contact. Nothing detrimental, no cars broken, no tow trucks called. So all in all, I'd say it's a success so far. And coming up for this first battle of the second qual session, we've got Dune Mallory as well as Jeff Coonrod.
This is going to be a good proximity battle here. Dune's been on fire all day. Jeff's doing a great job in almost every battle here, mimicking what the lead does. Let's see if he could keep that proximity and keep this momentum going. Really good initiation.
Now Dune transitioning into this first outer zone online, looking great. Jeff was throwing a bit of a wide initiation there, kind of messing up through that first touch and go. Now he's stuck kind of playing catch up through the remainder of this chase run. However, Dune is throwing down a very, very solid lead line as he has been all evening long.
Just getting into that outer zone a little late by Dune. He followed it through to that inner clip, looking super smooth and stylish, getting on that outer zone to the Orange Show Speedway wall right there. Hayden, this is a good battle so far besides the little hiccup.
Besides the little hiccup, Jeff ended up chasing him back down and getting some proximity there at the end. Now, roles are reversed. Jeff is throwing down a heater of a lead, filling all of that first OZ, pushing out, filling that second OZ. Dune is applying the pressure there through the smoke, chasing him into this next outer zone set here around the last couple of corners.
Really good proximity by Dune. That's going to give him that advantage that he was looking for. But Jeff did put on a heater of a lead run to give him that chase.
Yes, he did.
So all in all, I think we know the clear winner of that one just because of the mistake.
Yes, they both had great lead runs. However, I'd say that Dune definitely had the better of the two chases.
I agree. But during break, you got to drive my 240. How was it?
I did. Okay, so first time hopping in an S13, first time driving an SR car, and you're taller than me, so I was kind of tiptoeing it a bit. You know, the first lap, I just kind of took it really easy, and then the second lap, I still took it easy, but got more comfortable, was able to fill the zones, link the course, didn't really mess it up, and dude, the car feels great.
Thank you. You were showing no love to those tires, throttling the whole zone. Actually,
yeah, it's not hard to put that car where you want it.
How'd the outer zone 1, zone 2 feel? You were able to keep the momentum, so drivers need to do what you were doing.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, it felt really good. You know, you kind of left foot brake a little bit and preload the car through the first two outer zones, and then do a later bit of a snap transition across the infield, check up with the handbrake into the next OZ, and it's very fluid. I really like this course layout.
That Chase Bay's handbrake working pretty good, right?
It did. Yes,
Nice.
it did. For being inline. You know.
Oh, whatever,
It's
you
okay.
hater. Next battle coming up, we got Agni and
we've got Christian in the chase in that Mazda Miata.
Eric getting super close to that inner clip. Outer zone was a little late, but it flowed really nice. Rest of it, nice flick into outer zone 2. Missing it a little bit, but got his rear bumper in there. Smooth and stylish. Flag waving in the inner clip, super good.
Yeah, good line there coming through that inner clip around that little kind of horseshoe into the last zone across the finish line. Now these guys are going to switch positions.
The little Miata that could is powering through, and we've seen his progression throughout the evening.
And he's definitely maintaining a lot more speed into the first outer zone there, pushing up into OZ2 there. Now let's see if he can maintain drift through the infield. And he's hucking into OZ3, still cutting it very shallow, missing OZ3, overshooting OZ4. Oh,
Good
almost
save.
Some contact there, but good read by Eric in the chase, seeing that spin and, you know, not just bashing into that car.
Eric has great reaction time. He's going to take the win on that battle just by being the consistent driver that he is. He is one of the points leaders in this series. Eric is a force to be reckoned with. Him and Chester and a few other guys. We've seen some progression from all these guys throughout the year so far, and we still have a few events left. And August 1st and August 2nd, we will be at Apple Valley Speedway. So come on out, have a good time. Hit up thefote.com to buy your tickets. Come spectate at Orange Show Speedway tomorrow, the 235 series and 215 finals.
Yes, so we've got 215 qual and practice today, and it's open practice for whatever 235 drivers decided to come out. Tomorrow will be practice and qual for 235 as well as main event for 215 and 235. Also, we're sprinkling in some circle track racing throughout the evening as well. So anyways, into this next battle, we've got Chester in the lead in that silver 350Z. We've got Austin in the chase in that orange Mazda Miata. Both of these guys have been looking very solid today. They were out here last weekend, or at least Chester was here last weekend for the practice day, so he's acquainted with this layout. He came out and was killing it very first thing in practice today, so I think he's got a great spot at a podium this weekend. Austin ended up
Checking up right there.
He checked up right there, but he ended up having to replace the engine in that Miata last week, and so this is his first comp back with the new motor setup. And he's looking pretty solid today, except for that little hiccup there in that chase run. Now, they've switched positions coming into the lead there. Austin doing a great job with that touch and go, filling outer zone 1 there very well, very fluid. Minor corrections from those front wheels. He's pretty locked in there. He's going to shoot across the infield, transitioning into OZ3. Chester is applying the pressure there, nearly on his door, showing Austin what is up and how to chase. Oh, bumper to bumper, a little bit of contact. Now, was Austin already in line to straighten there, or do you think that Chester's bump there caused him to straighten out?
I would say he could have finished the run regardless, but Austin had the advantage right there because of Chester tapping him. Chester had a few bobbles in chase, however, so I believe Austin was going to take that regardless of how that panned out, in my opinion. But I'm not a judge, so
Right.
we don't have to make those calls.
Yep. And the judges, they moved across the other side of the stand, so we can't hear their result, unfortunately. I think they got tired of us yapping.
No, they could
right in
hear
their
us
ear.
still.
Well,
so
they can hear us, but we can't hear them for the results, unfortunately. However, for tomorrow, we'll have to figure out a good system to notify us of the winners.
we already know. We just got to
well,
pay
yeah,
attention to that.
Yeah, well, but there's a delay.
I know, I'm just
There's a
kidding, dude.
delay. So, up next, we've got Brian Nemo,
maybe?
Nemo?
Or Drift Slayer.
Mr. Drift Slayer in that Toyota Tacoma, and Jeff Coonrod in that Scion FRS.
I think Jeff's new name is Jeff Consistent Coonrod.
Jeff Consistent Coonrod. I like that.
And you get that consistency by driving as much as possible, and that's what this whole series is about. If you come on out, you get a total of 20 battle laps plus practice. Getting on in, Drift Slayer with a nice initiation to that inner clip, going to outer zone 1, entering it a little bit late, but throwing that angle to fill the rest of outer zone 1. Let's see if he could power through and get all the way out to outer zone 2. Jeff doing a great job mimicking that lead driver.
And coming in through that last outer zone in the infield there. Good lead line from Brian coming through that second touch and go. Jeff is really applying the pressure there through that last couple of zones, and that K-Series is screaming in that FRS. And he really got me hooked on K-swaps. I drove that car in Medford, and it was a very interesting combination of like 4-cylinder, almost like V8, but like street-like feel to it. It's interesting, and unfortunately, he's going to zero that lead run there, spinning out, coming off the bank in the infield through that first inner clip. So that win is going to go to Ryan, if I'm not mistaken. Andy said, shout out Skinny P, aka Wolf Croissant, aka Slide Through News.
Hey, what up, dude? what?
Yeah.
Andy, thank you so much for getting me ready for this contest series. My slave was down and out. He came over, helped me put the trans back in. So
good.
shout out to you, Andy. You're a real one. Next battle.
Is that transmission internal side? Or
No,
is that external?
external.
Because you have to use clutch, right?
Yep.
And up next, we've got Dune Mallory in that red BMW E36. We've got Russell Ortega, right?
We just call him Big Russ.
Yeah, Big Russ. Ortega. In the cup car round bit.
Let's see if he finds that line he was looking for. Dune with a great initiation to that inner clip, heading to that outer zone, getting in where he needs to be, filling it all the way to the very end. Let's see if he could keep that momentum up and get all the way out to that second outer zone.
We've got a black. Oh, and we're back there with the wild FPV back on screen. Sorry for that little technical delay there.
Great aim from Dune coming out of that outer zone and heading to that wall, looking super good and stylish in that BMW. Russ is playing a little bit of catch up right there. Let's see if he can do a little bit better in that lead position.
Russ dialing in that first touch and go. Looking good into this first OZ. A little bit late into it, but good depth into both of those zones. Smacking those cones coming out across the infield. A little bit of a bobble there, missing OZ3, but he's going to hit OZ4. Dune is on his door, applying that pressure, coming in for the win there. He's aggressive. He wants it.
Using this lap as a practice lap for tandems, close proximity, and
Oh, with a bump.
little love
The Crown
tap.
Vic hit the wall, and the E36 hit the Crown Vic. Didn't look too bad, though. There shouldn't be any damage there.
Maybe a little dent. But I don't know anyone that could drive that car like Russ does.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. And he's feeling it out. Looks like everything's still okay. There's a dent in the E36 now. Good thing he's got some over fenders to cover that up. And we've got track staff running out to set up some cones real quick.
Thank you to all the spectators that came out this evening to check out the Ultimate Drifting Challenge at Orange Show Speedway. Showing us some love, showing out.
And everyone that's watching the stream, if you're local, even if you're not local, if you're a couple hours away, come out tomorrow to Orange Show Speedway, San Bernardino, Southern California. We'll have tickets at the door. You can come in, come spectate the chaos. We'll have drifting all day tomorrow. We've got circle track racing tomorrow. It's going to be a very hectic, festive day of motorsports.
Bring your friends, bring your family. If you got the young ones that want to come out to check out drifting for the first time, I allow kids to sit in my 240 and take photos for the memories. That's what it's all about.
Always, always. Oh, we got Tyler in the chat. Shout out Tyler. You gonna bring me a root beer tomorrow? We need to do root beer floats.
He was here earlier, no?
I don't know. I didn't see him.
Oh,
Oh, was he with Schaefer earlier?
I believe so.
Dude, okay. We need to do some root beer floats tomorrow. You think it's my screen? We talked about this at Apple Valley.
It might melt, but I mean,
That's fine.
maybe.
We'll get little mini pints and we can do self-portioned root beer floats. Oh, I'm craving some ice cream. Dude, I've been hooked on Oreo ice cream sandwiches.
Dude,
lately.
cookies and cream is my
Yes.
favorite.
You know what's also really good? Have you had the 20?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so there's like a mint chocolate fudge one, and it's got like cookie crumbles in it. Oh, it's there. It's crack. It's
Speaking of
phenomenal.
ice cream, have you tried Blue Bunny? That brand is
I think
so good.
I think so.
Next up, we got Austin in the Miata, Eric Kegney in the BMW, LS powered.
And shout out to all 40 of you guys tuning into the stream right now. Let's get some chat.
Double-
Chatting. Let's start yapping, boys and girls.
We
Where
got
are you guys
double the
tuning in
viewers.
from? Who are you viewing to support? Thank you for following the Ultimate Drifting Challenge, and make sure you guys check out the Instagram page, the Facebook, www.udc.news. Turn those notifications on. We'll have the stream up tomorrow.
Great initiation by Austin, heading into that outer zone just a tiny bit late. Austin doing a great job in the lead position, though. Eric falling behind. Let's see if he could close that proximity.
Yeah, whoa, Eric, what are you doing? Very shallow there. I guess he was trying to play catch up. And I see what he was doing there for that fourth OZ, because he did make, he did suck in proximity there, but that was a bit of an interesting choice.
And it set him up for failure towards the end of that run. Let's see if he could clean that up in the lead position.
Which I think he will. And he's putting a gap on Austin there, transitioning now into OZ1, nice and wide, filling that zone as he should. Austin mimicking that same line there, placing the car right where Eric did. I guess Austin was a little bit shallow through the second zone there, but Eric is coming with the vengeance, missing OZ3, filling OZ4. Austin again doing a good job of mirroring that line.
But too much of a gap, in my opinion.
Yes, definitely too much of a gap. However, it's good that Austin was able to read the lead line and mimic that, because at the end of the day, like we talked about earlier, and even in the drivers' meeting, the chase drivers aren't necessarily judged on how they're filling the zones. They're more so judged on how well they are mirroring that lead driver. So if the lead driver is offline, then it's okay for the chase driver to be offline, as long as they're doing best to mimic that lead line.
And as you guys can see, Eric sacrificed line for angle, so that may have bit him in the butt.
Maybe. But all in all, good run from both guys. Their cars are out here. They're ripping. They're shredding tires. They're making it happen. And up next, we have Chester, Mr. Chester Drifts.
13-year-old.
Yes, the young buck Chester. I think he's been on podium for like most of the rounds that he's driven, has he not?
First or second place, yes.
Yeah.
In 215 and in 235. So
Yes.
shout out to Chester. He's going to start this lead out.
And then we've got Christian Mariscal in that white Mazda Miata coming in behind Chester, transitioning now into OZ1. Chester kind of halfway in that zone. He's going to hit OZ2 very well. Fluid, not very many corrections in that front wheel that I can initially see. Smooth inputs from Chester in the lead there. The Miata's playing catch up, kind of bobbling behind him. A little bit of a straightening from that chase driver, but he is still trying to apply that pressure.
He may have put some new tires on that Miata, because it looks like he's gripping up and straightening with that lower horsepowered vehicle.
I wonder if the Miata is actually better than 215 or if it's more like a 195.
Chester doing a great job mimicking that lead driver, getting into that outer zone a little bit late though. Let's see if he can clean it up just a little bit. We have seen a good amount of progression from the Miata throughout the evening.
Yeah, and it seems like that Miata just does not have enough power to extend out that second OZ and transition properly into the third OZ across the infield, because I feel like he is consistently kind of straightening out through the second OZ and then almost reinitiating across the infield. Hopefully he can, extend out a bit further into OZ3, because also, again, consistently he's kind of missing OZ3. But
he may be able to cheat it a little bit if he stays deeper into outer zone 2 and holds it a little longer. Maybe it'll slingshot him to outer zone 3 so he could fill it a little bit better.
exactly.
Drift Slayer coming up with Dune.
I love the red
Matching the BMW. This is going to be a good proximity battle right here. Both great drivers, both good lead drivers, so the chase is going to be phenomenal regardless.
Both of these guys have been very consistent. I'm curious to see Brian's chase against Dune.
Right on his door. I'm predicting it now.
I know Dune's out here ready. And let's get it with a nice whip down into the infield, transition to the first inner clip, now into the first outer zone there.
Dune doing a great job.
Good extension and transition into OZ3. Brian barely missing that zone. Dune mirroring very well. Flew it through the fourth OZ. And now with a big transition flick through good proximity through that touch and go there. Dune is kind of playing it safe behind him with a little bit of a gap, but all in all, a very solid run from both guys.
Barely lost any proximity. And let's see if Drift Slayer could stay on him the whole lap right here. Great flick into that inner clip, outer zone, filling it all the way. Good job, Dune. Looking good out there. Brian, wow.
Applying the pressure and chase. Bit of a gap there coming into this other side of the infield. Dune with a nice wide line. Now Brian sucking in. Let's see how this transition goes. Brian loading up very early for that touch and go. Cutting it short, but still holding on. And, you know, my initial impression, because of the hiccup there at the end, I think that Dune might take the win.
Oh, I would for sure agree with that one. Just that bobble alone could cost you.
Yep. Even though, you know, Dune was very wide out through that second touch and go, all in all, but, you know, Brian kind of did park it coming through there. Almost. I wouldn't say that he parked it, but...
He slowed down, kept angle, almost like if he was left foot braking just to put on a show. Next up, this is going to be a great battle coming up. We got Jeff and Eric. Jeff is going to be the lead driver in that FRS K-Series powered.
And a reminder of our point standing currently. Dune Mallory in first place with 37 points. Chester in second place with 26, tied with Brian with 26 points as well. Austin Carey in fourth with, oh wow, we've got a four-way tie for technically second, third, fourth place, all with 26 points. Chester, Brian, Austin, Jeff.
Jeff missing that initiation into inner clip, straightening the whole time right there. That's going to definitely lose some points with the judges. Eric doing a great job mimicking that lead driver, however, closing that proximity, getting in that last outer zone. Jeff cleaning up the rest of the run, though, looking super smooth and stylish, getting out to that wall. Let's see if he could fill the whole zone, and filled it right there just towards the end. So
yeah,
besides that
solid
initial bobble, you kind of missed it looking at the points. He like beelined it into the cones.
Oh, okay.
But he'll clean it
Jeff
up.
with an aggressive clutch kick surging into Eric there through that touch and go. Really, you know, aggressively initiating there.
Taking that cone out, Eric, filling that whole zone, looking good. And getting into the last bit of that zone there.
Yep. Kind of missing OZ3, but making up for it in OZ4 with a nice snappy flick through that touch and go.
Wow, it's almost like he hit that cone right into the...
I was just about to say, it may not be a bad idea for tomorrow to put a cone right there for reference to kind of push drivers out a little bit further. I kind of like the
It
way
wouldn't
that
be a
flowed.
bad idea.
No, it wouldn't.
I see more people hitting that cone, though, tomorrow,
Yeah,
and then,
right. And then
staff
it's more of a
would
reset,
be... Yeah.
more delay. Exactly. I guess it's dark enough now I can take my glasses off.
Yo.
Oh.
Yo.
Shout out to Austin last round when we were in Idaho. He graciously came up to the stands, and he's got a partnership with Heatwave. Shout out to Heatwave.
Great people over there.
Amazing product here.
Oh, I got some. They're amazing.
Yep, I was wearing some, Walmart special $10 sunglasses, and Austin came up and was like, dude, take those glasses off your face. Pick a pair of these. He handed me out 3 pairs of Heatwaves. And I got to pick these nice black on black. They've got the side, side
Safety-
shield.
the safety shield,
yep,
yeah.
And they're safety rated too. And dude, really good quality. Very, very nice. And these have been my daily wear now. Every day I've been wearing these.
So I do
love them.
heavy equipment inspection, and we're allowed to wear heat waves as long as they have
the
this
safety
side.
rating. Oh, the side. Okay.
So if heat wave, hook me up with some clears, and I'll wear them every day at work.
Oh, I need to get some clears for work too.
Dude,
Yep.
you heard it here first. Hook us up. Great product coming from Heatwave. Next battle, Miata and Miata Crime.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, we've got the NA white Miata versus the turbocharged orange one.
We got the go-karts out on track.
Yeah, the little clown cars. And Austin giving him some space a little bit. Now he's going to try to suck in through the infield here, coming into the first outer zone. And white Miata kind of missing that first OZ. Austin doing a good job following suit there, mimicking that line, pushing out a bit wide so that he can transition into the second set of outer zones there. White Miata making up for it through the fourth outer zone. Bit of a bobble there before transitioning into the second inner clip. Nice and wide coming into the fifth and final zone there, but straightening before the finish line.
even though the white Miata did straighten, his progression throughout the evening
Has been amazing.
and he's going to take the win with progression.
Yes, yes. Hardest charging driver.
Good proximity right there, though, from him.
Oh, yeah, look at
Great
that.
chase.
And he's clutch kicking it. He's fighting it. I hear it. Wada, wada, wada.
Like I said earlier, the little Miata that could, he is keeping
Mhm.
up and he's trying his best out there, and that's all that matters.
Yep. Sounded like he was grabbing first gear there through that second inner clip. I think I heard him downshift.
I'm glad I don't know what that feels like. Leave it in second and just go.
Yeah, your car in second gear was perfect.
I love, yeah. If I don't got to shift, I can just focus on throttling and just being in zones.
And who do we have up next? I can't see.
It's going to be Chester and Big Russ coming up
right.
next. We got the 350Z versus the Crown Vic, right?
Yep,
Cop car.
Yes. And alrighty, so Chester is going to be in the lead. Big Russ Racing in the chase.
Let's see if Russ can clean it up a little bit and put on a show for these guys on the live stream. Chester has been consistent all day, heading into the evening, filling every zone, inner clips, looking solid.
Yeah, I mean, he is fourth in points right now, tied for third. So he's a force to be reckoned with tonight. Great proximity to that first inner clip. Coming in a little shallow through the first portion of that first outer zone, but all in all, very fluid lead line. Not many corrections I'm seeing from him. Loading up the car when he should. Russ is kind of playing catch up, a bit far behind there in the chase. But Chester with a nice, fluid, consistent lead line.
Definitely something that could be chased.
Yeah.
The only critique that I would have is for his spotter to tell him to throw more angle into the first inner clip. He has the angle and he needs to use it to get those style points.
Yep.
But overall, he's throwing a good chaseable lead.
Absolutely.
Well, sounds like he's got a misfire.
And we got some thumbs up out the window of the Crown Vic.
Looks like Russ is heading off track.
Oh, wait, never
That's
mind.
going
That
to give
wasn't
the
a thumbs
win
up.
to Chester. Something's going on with Big Russ's car.
Yeah, and Chester's going to do a little celebratory half lap here.
He's going to show you guys if you stay on the sim at a young age, you could hop in a drift car and do the same exact thing.
Yes. And like, I've got a sim at home. I haven't been using it lately, which I need to. However, like, going from driving in real life to then driving the sim, especially when you hook up VR to it, the inputs and technique and style that you implement on the sim is one-to-one from real life.
So you have a better sim than I do. I just have CarX on an Xbox with a sim rig.
Okay.
But it actually helps. Like, I was practicing before I came and I got here and I was throwing down my first lap.
Yes,
I could clean it up a little bit, but I mean, it does help.
Of course. I mean, anybody coming out here for the first couple of laps, they can always clean it up.
Yeah.
But no, it helps 110%. Especially, playing a set of Forza, you get a decent direct drive wheel setup, and get that VR.
That's
The
on my
VR
list.
Makes
I
a
need to-
world of a difference.
I need a good computer with a VR setup. That would be...
It definitely made me a little motion sick at first, but then you just gotta persist through it, and you'll get used to it. And dude, it's so.
I
fun.
played Andy's, and I almost got sick within 15 minutes. I had the fan on me, too.
Yep.
But we're going to get into this next battle. BMW action right here. Eric out in front, Dune in the chase. Eric with a great initiation, hitting that inner clip cone, trying to throw Dune off.
Dude is taking the cone with him. Oh, there, he just spit it out.
He put it in a good spot, though, right off the
He
course. We
did.
don't even need to reset, guys. We have the big inner clip cone. Eric doing a great job in those outer zones, filling it with great angle.
I like Eric's aggressive quick flick
Oh, it looks amazing.
after that final zone, or the fourth outer zone into the second inner clip. I really like the way he's loading up the car and snapping.
Thumbs up from drivers. We're going to get it going. Eric doing a great job mimicking in that chase.
Dune nice and wide to the first outer zone. Eric throwing in a lot of angle in the chase with minor correction there, looking very solid. Both drivers throwing down a heater set of laps.
Eric was offline right there, however.
He was right as I said he was doing so good.
I didn't want to jinx it, and
I know, I
you
didn't want-
didn't. You almost did, but unfortunately, he jinxed it for himself on that chase run, which is going to give the win to Dune, in my opinion. And I believe Eric is driving the 235 series tomorrow as well. I believe.
I wonder if Dune is as well. I hope so. I don't know.
I believe I did see him on the driver's list.
Okay.
He's fun to drive with, very
He is.
consistent. You get your practice for tandems, that's for sure. Something I'm working on. And tomorrow's going to be a great, beautiful day. I believe a high of 86, which is amazing compared to Las Vegas, which is like a high of 106 tomorrow.
Oh, dude, I couldn't do it. I thought about moving to Vegas at one point, and like I don't know if I could deal with those summer heat.
It's pool season.
Yeah, that's true.
We have summer night drift events, so it's fine.
So do you guys do like late night, like into the morning, late night kind of?
No,
events, or-
6 to midnight typically.
Okay,
So I mean,
okay.
cooling off,
Yeah.
like how it is almost right now.
Right. And we've got Austin Carey in the lead, Brian Nimmo in the chase.
Great lead from Austin.
We got the biggest vehicle and the smallest vehicle out on track at the same time. Brian really applying that pressure.
It's like when kids play with cars that are different sizes and they don't know what to do. Great job from Drift Slayer in that chase. Austin putting on a heck of a lead line right there, ending it at the wall almost with a little rear bumper tap. We're going to switch positions and restart them.
Maintaining that momentum on the bank there. They're going to cross that second white line and reinitiate off the bank into the infield to this first touch and go. Transitioning now into outer zone 1. Looking solid. A little bit of a bobble and kind of shallow through the first portion of that first zone. But Brian pushing out through the second zone, bobbling a touch before transition there, but pulling through into the third and fourth outer zone. It's like this might kind of be one of Brian's more inconsistent lead runs. He's a bit more bobbly from what I've seen previously. I wonder if something's going on maybe with the steering, or maybe he's adjusting tire pressures, or what there.
Into the evening with the colder track temps.
Yes,
So
the track is
it
gonna
could
be a
be
bit more
throwing him
tricky
off.
down.
He's been fighting the truck a little bit this evening.
Mm.
The only advantage I would say he has is that long truck bed can get him into those zones a little easier than the smaller cars.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's not totally in the zone, it looks like he is in the zone because
But
of it.
I was talking with the judges earlier, and they actually asked me, hey, how should we kind of judge that? Because, you know, the tailgate, if the tailgate's in the zone, but the wheel is not, how do you kind of judge that? And I told them, well, think about it with a car. It's the same kind of scenario to where if the bumper is in the zone, it's okay, but really you want the wheels in the zone.
Correct.
And if anything, the bumper hanging out of the zone, but you want those rear wheels filling the entirety of the zone. And even if those wheels are on the outer edge of the zone, I'd much rather see that. And now we've got Christian in the lead in that white Miata, Jeff in the chase in the red FRS. Let's see how these guys stack up against each other. We're blowing through this second qualifying session fairly quickly here.
And by what we mean qualifying, it's just qualifying to get into the tomorrow. Great initiation from the Miata, getting into that outer zone a little bit late. Jeff filling the zone, doing exactly what that lead drive is doing. Let's see if the Miata can throttle out and get into the zone. He took a similar line to what we were seeing Eric messing up and doing and skipping outer zone 3.
Yep. But, you know, I'm going to say that that's essentially a 0-point run from the Miata there because of the extent of that straightening through the crossing of the infield.
And straightening at the end wall as well.
Yes, which I think that I think I'm going to go find him. And, well, I guess, you know, hopefully he makes it into finals. If he makes it into finals, I'm going to go talk with him and, you know, give him a couple pointers and let him know, like, hey, you should try to do X, Y, Z differently.
Jeff doing a great job in that lead position, filling all the zones, getting into outer zone 3 with no hesitation, laying on throttle, filling outer zone 4. Headlight flickering into the last inner clip, heading into that wall. Let's see if he can hold on through, and Jeff does, and it looks like Jeff would take the win on that one. And as you know, we usually do 2 different run groups, Group A and Group Z. We only had 10 drivers today, so it may be an action-packed weekend going, and maybe we'll have a top 10 finals tomorrow.
Correct. And let's see. So in the chat, from Holly's View, commented a question, said, "What is the changing tire rule in pitting?" So we've got these 2 qualifying sessions. Drivers come out for their 5 battles. They're allotted a 5-minute kind of timeout in between battles if they need. But if they extend over those 5 minutes, they miss out on a battle and they're missing points. You are allowed to change tires as long as you can do so in grid or get to your pit quick enough before your next battle. So as long as you can change tires fast enough and not miss a battle and miss points, you're welcome to change tires in the middle of runs.
So every 5 minutes is a battle missed, which is points deducted.
Yes, exactly.
Chester hesitating on that inner clip, but doing a good job filling that outer zone. Dune staying with that proximity, mimicking angle. The only thing I would say to Chester is throw more angle. We know you got it, bud. Just do it.
He's looking very solid. Dune's really applying the pressure there. I like the way he's loading up the car at the end of that 4th OZ, predicting Chester's transition so that he can flick back right on him.
Well, he also can predict that Chester's not going to spin.
Correct.
And Dune knows he can get right back on his door. Dune with a great flick to initiation to inner zone, almost doing the same amount of angle Chester did. Chester doing a great job in outer zone 1, filling it right behind Dune. A good amount of proximity. A little bobble there from Chester. Dune tapping outer zone 3 just barely.
Yep. All in all, solid runs from both drivers. Holly said, "Can only hear Will." Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. But drivers are allowed to change tires. If they extend over 5 minutes in between runs, then they lose points for a battle. But they are allowed to change tires in the middle of battle.
It's like that commercial. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
So as Hayden was saying, every 5 minutes you lose a battle. If you got a total of 5 battles, that's a total of 25 points you can miss.
Correct. And it looks like this might be...
I just see Austin.
Never mind, this is not LLS.
Oh,
No,
and
there's
Eric.
Eric behind him.
I see the flag.
Yep.
That gives it away. We got a great battle coming up, guys. Austin and Eric going around the track, making sure their cars are ready for this battle. Austin in the lead, Eric in the chase. And we still have a few more battles after this one, so the action is not over yet, folks.
Nope. And then it's looking like we're going to have some time for some more open practice at the end of the night, which would be great for these drivers going into tomorrow. As long as they don't break their stuff.
Correct. Austin, great job with a nice flick into that outer zone, filling the whole zone. Eric doing a great job mimicking angle and proximity. Let's see if he could head to that outer zone same way Austin did. And it looks like Eric is cleaning up those chase runs, filling the zones and keeping that proximity, mimicking angle. Coming out a little bit short on that one, though.
With a bit of a bobble there from both drivers before that final 5th outer zone after the touch and go.
Eric doing a good job, though, in that chase. I'll give him that. It looked really good and stylish. Gapping Austin on that initiation, heading
Good
into
angle
that outer
through the touch
zone.
and go. Good wide line to that first outer zone.
Austin reinitiating right there, though. That's going to be some points deducted. He needs to catch up to make this run look a little bit better. With this a little bit of a bobble, it does throw off the rest of the run. So you
Yes,
have to be right on it, and you have to be consistent.
If you mess up the initiation, and if you have a hiccup or a bobble or one mistake out on track in the infield, it can ruin your entire run.
I got enough practice earlier. I don't even know if I'll drive. I'm already tired. I'm ready to just take a nap, get ready for tomorrow.
I feel that. Dude, the drive down here kicked my butt. It took like an extra 2 hours than what it should have.
Insane.
I'm tired. I'm getting there. It's gonna
I
be
think
nice
it only
to lay
took
down.
4 hours from Vegas, and that's with stopping.
That's not bad. That's
Yeah.
not bad at all.
Stopped to get gas, came out, no traffic, brakes heated up down El Cajon Pass or whatever you call it. The little Xterra that could, but
I can't believe you're pulling your car and trailer with that Xterra.
V6, baby.
It's a V6?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
That's wild. That's wild.
It works. It gets us here. All right, Jeff out in front. Great initiation heading into that zone. Where is Drift Slayer at?
And where is Brian there? Bit of a gap in between him and Jeff. Jeff is doing a solid, quick, snappy lead line.
Getting into that outer zone, doing a great job. Filling outer zone 4 completely for Jeff. Into that inner clip, looking pretty smooth and stylish. And into that outer zone, filling it properly. Drift Slayer playing a little bit of catch up there. He had a little bobble. Like I said, if you have a bobble, it will throw the rest of the run off.
What is going on? We've got drivers stopping on track. What are you doing?
All right, here we go. Drift Slayer out in front. Gentleman's rule start right there. Good initiation flick from Drift Slayer. Doing a way better job in that lead position. Filling outer zone 1 completely. Outer zone 2 looking smooth and stylish as well.
Nice wide run. Bit shallow there into that third OZ from Brian, but Jeff doing a great job of mimicking that lead line, putting that FRS where he should.
Brian coming out at outer zone 4. A little too early, though. I would say that one went to Jeff with the few bobbles that Brian had.
Yeah, I'd agree. There was a bit of a decent gap in between the two when Jeff was leading, and yeah, my personal opinion.
So we have about, he said,
About
4 more
like
runs?
4, yeah, it's looking like 4 more battles, right? Yeah, 4 battles or 4 runs, yeah. We got a couple more battles, and then we are going to go into some more open practice for these drivers to gear up for finals tomorrow. So today was qualifying and points accumulation for these 215 drivers, and then, open practice for whoever is here. Tomorrow will be tomorrow will be qualifying for 235 as well as finals for 215 and 235, as well as sprinkling in some circle track racing and practice throughout the day too. So that'll be very neat, kind of a combination of 2 complete polar opposites of motorsports on the spectrum. And
we have a jam-packed weekend tomorrow.
Yeah, we do. Tomorrow's going to be a stacked day.
I mean, we got, 12 drivers or 15 drivers in each run group for 235, so it's a full session. I got my work cut out for me tomorrow. There's a lot of good drivers out here, so I'm going to use it as tandem practice. So come on out tomorrow to Orange Show Speedway, Ultimate Drifting Challenge 235 Series. Get your tickets on thefote.com.
Yep. Or at the gate.
Or at the gate.
Yep, and it's looking like we've got 18 drifters coming out to drive tomorrow, according to my list right here. So hopefully that is accurate. Hopefully people are able to show up. You
said 18?
18.
That's it?
Yeah, 18. For 235 tomorrow? Just for 235.
I thought it was 24.
I just counted 18. Maybe I'm counting wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe accumulatively there was 24 this weekend. Because I know we've got 8, or no, I'm sorry, we have 9. No, we had 8 confirmed drivers today for 215. There was, Isaac is on the board, but I don't believe Isaac is here. And yeah, it's looking like we've got 2 more battles coming up next. Chat, how are we doing? Hector said, hey, will you want to load your car. Hey, Will, do you want to load your car up in the stacker?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not exposed tonight?
Yeah, I'm down. I will be right there. I'm gonna let Hayden wrap up with you guys. I'm gonna go help Hector load my car up. Thank you so much, Hector. Appreciate you guys. You guys are definitely the real ones.
Here we go. Man, look at the camaraderie from the pits there. We've got drivers helping out drivers. Chester in the lead, Christian in the chase. Chester's in that silver 350Z. Christian in that white little Miata that could. Out here making it happen. Chester extending out into that third outer zone pretty well there, filling all of OZ4. Very fluid lead line. Christian following suit. Oh, getting very close on Chester's transition, right on that back bumper there. Thankfully, no contact was made. Bit of an inconsistent run from the chase, but let's see how they do. Roles reversed. And again, chat, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications on, stay tuned for tomorrow's live stream. Big, big, big shout out to Orange Show Speedway. Thank you so much for hosting us this weekend. It's an honor to be here. And Orange Show Speedway's got, support from Toyota Redlands. They've got support from Bergeson's heating and air conditioning, electrical. They've got support from Zestino tires, and there's a lot of local support out here for this racetrack. And again, tomorrow we've got drifting, we've got circle track racing, and it's great to see the accumulation of motorsports coming together in the same day. It's going to be a good one, and it's all going to be live streamed. So guys, make sure you tune in, watch the stream, listen to me yap. And up next, who do we got? I can't really see from right here. We've got Brian and Russ up next, which may be our last battle. Yeah, it's looking like our last battle of the night. Brian is going to lead in that big Toyota Tacoma. Russ is going to chase in that Ford Crown Vic cop car. If only the overhead lights were. That'd be cool. Flashing red and blue behind him in chase. That'd make for some good media on track. Anyways, these guys go through that gentleman speed zone, hitting that white line, clutch kick in, transitioning off of the bank there into the infield. That first touch and go now into the first outer zone. Brian doing a phenomenal job of filling both of those first and second outer zones now, transitioning across the infield into OZ3 and now 4. Russell with a big hiccup and bobble on initiation through into that first outer zone there, now playing catch up through the remainder of the course. Brian's doing a solid job of a fluid, consistent lead line. And these guys are going to switch positions, maintain momentum, and initiate right back into the battle. Bit of a gap between the two cars, but Brian is, playing it a bit conservative there, watching the lead line, mimicking very well, placing that truck where Russ has driven, and that's what we want to see from those chase drivers. We don't necessarily mind if the chase driver isn't filling the zones as long as they are mirroring that lead car. And that battle is going to conclude our Day 1 215 qualifying sessions. Tomorrow we will have practice. We will do 215 finals as well as 235 qualifying and finals. And we're also collaborating with Orange Show Speedway, sprinkling in some circle track racing and really, meshing together some different motorsports tomorrow to give you guys a great show. Just like how Russ is right now, giving you guys a show, smoking out the infield, burning those tires. Again, big shout out to all of our partners and sponsors involved this season, supporting the Ultimate Drifting Challenge, allowing us to come out and host the 6th event of the season so far. We have 10 events this season, so stay tuned to future events. Thank you to Cage Kits. Thank you SoFine USA. Thank you Race Club Fabrication. Thank you Low Eye Media, Cat Daddy Tuning, Drift Japan, Prisma Labs, NRG, Vitor Tires, Zestino Tires, Zeknova Tires. We've got Black Widow Exhaust. We've got Ignition Speed, TDMI Imports, Street Rivals, J&A Racing Oil, Eagle Motorworks, Idaho Drift, Conseil Wheels, RSR Services, Slide Through News. Thank you, Orange Show Speedway. Thank you everybody for being involved and supporting the cause and allowing us to come out here. So with that being said, that is going to conclude day 1 of our 2:15 qualifying sessions. Turn those notifications on. Tune in to, oh, I'm watching right here. Hello. Hi, everybody. Flying the drone out front. What's up? Make sure you guys turn those notifications on. Stay tuned for tomorrow, and we will catch you later. Thank you. Yeah. Flipping and flying. I wish I could fly around like that. And now it's...
These Prisma Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
We're in Japan.
Hey, the tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know what? It's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.
These Prisma Lab seats are keeping me so secure on this hill. I'd be everywhere, but I'm locked in with these. I feel like I'm like being hugged the whole time. And dude, I just got these gloves, so sick. These things with the seat, you can't beat that combo.
Hey, Denver tour has begun.
We go to 3 track days on this tour. We got Mayhan, Bihoku, and TKL.
Then we're going to take you to up garages. We're going to go check out awesome workshops like Rocket Bunny, Trial, you name it, we got it.
You know what? It's going to be jam-packed. We're also going to take this tour to Ebisu for a 7-day add-on to the November tour.
And we're going to be hanging doors with guys like Adam LC, people from Aussie, everybody you've ever wanted to see. I think there's even going to be some sneaky Drift Masters guys there. And Ryusei is coming in for a pop too.
And you know it's going to be all recorded like a documentary, so you can see what we're doing here on tour by the one and only band down the street.
So, are you wondering why you haven't joined this tour? Because I am too. So come and do some skids with us and change your life.